everyone, and welcome back to week 1, day 5 of the Coach Mentorship. I'm excited to share to you today about our topic of mindset, how to attract and how to identify active coaches. Kind of a broad spectrum, right? But we're going to get it done. So hang with me. I promise I'm going to be really active, so hopefully you won't fall asleep, but it's going to be fun. So the first thing I want to hit on is mindset. Now, this is something that really affects every single coach. I know you've probably felt this way. I felt this way. Melanie Mitros felt this way. The person who just signed up as a coach has felt this way. There are times when our mindset just gets the best of us and our mental game just gets the best of us, and it probably puts us down in a corner wanting to not come back and do this the next day. Because things happen. We take blow after blow after blow, and we have to have the right mindset to keep going. It actually reminds me of a quote that I heard today on the National Wake Up Call. It's from Rocky. I'm going to read it. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and move on. And it's so true, because as coaches, we get hit with so much stuff. We get hit with multiple no's. We get hit with, maybe not the support that we're looking for from our maybe our significant other, or maybe our friends or our family. That can knock us down. We get hit from, maybe not getting everything we want done in a day, from people making fun of us. There's a lot of things that will hit us and try to keep us down, and it's up to us to fill our head with positive vibes, positive thoughts, to keep moving forward so that eventually we will succeed and achieve those beautiful dream boards that we all showed on Monday, right? So mindset, let's talk about that. There's a lot of different ways you can go with this. One way that I'm going to share with you today is something that I do every day. I am an athlete. I play Division I basketball, and I've always been super competitive, and I've always wanted to win. So I almost had to frame that in my head that I want to win every single day when it comes to coaching, when it comes to my fitness, when it just comes to this lifestyle. So kind of put together these 3 key disciplines to help me do that. And that's what I want to share with you today, because this helps me get my mindset right. It helps me know exactly what I'm doing. And at the end of the day, it helps me know that I just won the day. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling like I'm ready to crush tomorrow. So let's get started. Simply, this is called Win the Day. Again, just because I like to win, and that puts my head in a good mindset. So first off, before we get to 3 key disciplines of what's going to help us win the day, we need to know that it all starts with our why, right? And Heather talked a lot about this on Monday, because it is so important to have our dream board, have our whys front and center, have all this stuff, so that way we know exactly why we're moving forward, why we're getting up every single day, why we're sending invites, why we're pushing play, why we're drinking Shakeology, why we're doing all this stuff. You need your why, and it needs to be an emotional connection, just like Heather said, or else you're going to get hit with one of these blows and then you're just going to stop. You're going to quit, and that's because your why's not strong enough. Your vision's not strong enough. And if you need to work on this again, work on this again, because this is key to everything. So why? Okay, so the next 3 things are disciplines. I love that, because I believe that discipline outweighs motivation every single day. We're not always motivated to push play or work out or get up early and do work or do a power hour or send an invite. We're not always motivated to do that, but we're disciplined to do it every day, because we know when we do, we're going to get to where we want to go. Which also means that disciplines doesn't take any skill. It doesn't take anything like you have to work to get to this point. You just got to do it. And as long as you do it, you're going to succeed. So the first discipline is being completely committed to a desirable outcome. So what does that really mean? I like to break this down 2 different ways. Being completely committed, that's a whole little thing in itself. I feel like there's different types of commitment levels. There's maybe half in, I'll give this a shot, we'll see if it works. There's that kind of commitment, wishy-washy, I don't know. Or there's yes, I'm doing this come hell or high water. I like to kind of make it like you're at the pool and you walk up to the pool. Do you just put your toe in to see what it feels like? Do you get in in the shallow end and just kind of walk in inch by inch and inch, which actually kind of hurts more, right? Or do you just full on out cannonball into the water? That's the kind of full in, that's the kind of completely committed that I'm talking about, because that is the kind of commitment that there is no turning around. You're going to make this happen and it's going to work. So that's commitment. Now let's talk about a desired outcome. For our level, you should all be hitting Success Club 5 every single month, hands down, no questions asked. That's what you should be doing. So that should be a desired outcome, but we need to add to that at this level. So I want to kind of talk about the leadership ladder like we heard about on, I believe, Tuesday, because those should be desired outcomes for each and every one of you, whether that is to hit team leader or whether that's to hit, team builder. Kind of see where you're at right now and shoot for the next rung. If you're only at business starter, start putting down your desired outcomes of the team builder, which means hitting Success Club 5, of course, being at Emerald, of course, having at least 2 personally sponsored coaches, have at least 1 Success Club point on the board, and then 200 team volume on your weak leg. If you're not doing that, those should be your desired outcomes. So that should be your goal every single month until you hit it. And then once you hit it, then you go to team leader. And what does that mean? Success Club 5. It means diamond. It means having 4 personally sponsored coaches have at least 1 point on the board, and it means 5,000 team volume. Use these as your desired outcome. Don't just stop at Success Club 5 or Success Club 10. You need to move that bar up for yourself so that way you'll be elevated in order to achieve those things. So be completely committed to desirable outcome. Again, in order to do that, you need to write down some goals. And I want these goals to be all linked to the leadership ladder. Again, is that team builder or is that team leader? Figure out where you're at now, figure out what the next rung is, find out what you need to do to achieve those, and write those down as your goal, okay? Number 1. Number 2, control the controllable. I love this one. One, because it's the hardest to do. And as human beings, we really like to focus on the things that we cannot control for some reason. Who knows why? But when we do that, it drags us down. Usually it's negative. Usually we don't feel like we accomplish anything and we just waste our time, right? So stop focusing on things that are out of your control and think about the things that are in your control. So when you look at these goals that you just set for the leadership ladder, if it is, hitting team builder, and you're already at Success Club 5 and you're Emerald, then we need to start working with 2 people on your team to help them hit Success Club, or at least get 1 point on the board, right? Or maybe you only have 100 team volume on your weak leg. We need to start looking at how to increase that volume on your weak leg. Those are the kind of things that we can do to control. And how do you do that? You have one-on-one calls with your coaches. You have mastermind calls with your coaches and help them do these actions every single day. That's going to help them get to Success Club. So in the end, it helps you have people who are on the board with Success Club points, right? Same thing with the volume. If you're down on volume, let's think about different ways to help that. We have a volume training coming up, which I think will be great, helping people understand the difference between a strong and a weak leg, helping other people understand where volume comes from, what makes volume, what actually is volume. Also helping people understand, what team cycle bonus means and looks like and how it works, duplication, placement, all these things can affect volume. So, when you look at control a controllable, what are the actions that are going to help you do that? Let's write them down. And if you're not sure, reach out to your upline. I can guarantee you they know. So control the controllable. The last one is to be fully accountable. I know we've talked about accountability and it is key. And this is something that you can do 2 different ways. One, be fully accountable to yourself. This is where win the day comes in. At the end of every single day, ask yourself one question. Did I win the day? And how you know if you won the day is if you were able to control the controllable, check off all those action items to help you get to your desired outcome. That's going to eventually help you get to your why. Isn't that funny how that all kind of lines up? It's pretty cool, right? So if you were able to win the day and accomplish all that stuff, you give yourself a pat on the back and do a little dance and celebrate, because that should feel good. I don't know about you guys, but when I accomplish in all these my things on my to-do list, and I'm like, wow, I just did a ton of stuff. My business is moving forward. That's awesome, and you should feel that sense of awesomeness. And again, that's going to help you get up tomorrow and want to win the day again. And when you start winning the day again and again and again and again, you're going to go in the direction of your dreams. Your mindset's going to be in the right place. You're going to be positive. You're going to spit out all these positive vibes. And then when we start talking about how to attract people, That's going to be key in that, because you attract people when you are yourself and you are positive. People want to latch on to that. So winning the day every single day will help you attract people. I promise you that. The second way to be fully accountable is with your coach, with your upline coach. Ask somebody else to hold you accountable. Just like we have accountability groups for our fitness and our challengers, do the same thing with your business. Say, hey coach, this is my why. These are my goals. This is what I'm going to do to get to my goals. I want you to hold me accountable. I'm giving you permission to hold me accountable to these things. So when we talk next week, I want you to ask me. And if I didn't do it, you need to get into me, because this is what I want. And sometimes I might need a kick in the butt, but that's why I'm asking you to hold me accountable. So that's another way to hold yourself accountable. Have somebody else do that for you, okay? So that's a way to win the day. That's exactly how I keep my mindset. Great. Unless I don't win the day, that's time for me not to beat myself up, but it's time for me to do a little gut check. Okay, what happened? How come I wasn't able to get to these things today that's going to move my business forward? Was somebody sick? Did something go wrong? Did something run over? Life happens. I get it. I totally get it. But at the end of the day, don't just be like, tomorrow will be better. No, figure out what happened so that way when it happens again, because it will, you have a plan B. And you know what you can do to win the day no matter what pops up. What obstacles are there, you're still going to win the day. That way you can go to bed, you feel good about just reevaluating what happened, taking a step back, and you're ready to crush it tomorrow. Okay, so that is the mindset. I talked really fast, although it was kind of a long time. How to attract. Quickly, just like I said, when you are feeling good, when your mindset's in the right place, and when you're just projecting positive vibes, people get that. People notice that. People latch onto that. They start following you. They start seeing what you're doing. And then they want to be a part of it. Like fear of missing out, right? They don't want to miss out on this. They want to be positive. They want to be around you all the time. So when you start sharing your story and posting your journey and posting all these positive things, like people are watching. So make sure that whatever you're posting, those are the kind of people that you want to attract. And we all want to attract positive people, right? So when you're projecting positivity, you're going to get positivity back. So that's how I attract people, is just by posting my story, my journey, being positive all the time. It's amazing how many conversations I have and people just say, your positivity, I want that, I need that, I love that, I want to be a part of something that you're a part of. So keep on that. Okay, the last one, identify active coaches. A couple different things, I guess, on this topic is, first of all, look at your coaches. Who's doing stuff? Who's posting every single day? Who's doing their workouts? Who's drinking Shakeology? Who's doing this stuff? Who has a Success Club point on the board? You just go through this kind of list, and if they're doing something along those lines, they're active right now. And maybe it just takes you reaching out one-on-one to them to see if they're ready to step up their game to really build this business. Again, you can't do for them, but you can always ask. So that's how I identify my active coaches. I see who my coaches are. I see if they're putting any Success Club points on the board. I see if they're posting, doing workouts, drinking Shakeology, being engaged in the team page. These are kind of signs that you look for to identify who's your active coaches. And if you don't have any of those, you need to go find new coaches. That's in the story, in the game right there. You need more coaches. So that's how I identify active coaches. And again, once you have active coaches and you ask them if they want help and they say yes, you can totally take them through this whole win the day. Talk to them about their why. Talk to them about their goals. It should be Success Club 5, right? Talk to them about how to hit Success Club 5, and then ask them if you can hold them accountable to those goals. So that is kind of what's going on here right now. So we talked about a lot. We talked about our mindset. We talked about how to attract people, and we talked about how to identify active coaches. If you have any questions, please let me know. Comment below what you think, and just know that just continue to give it your all. Just continue to know that you deserve everything that you want, and that you are totally worth it, and you're going to be, and totally are already, a great coach. Don't let anything put you down. Don't let any knock out, any punch get you down forever. Just keep moving forward, and I promise you, when you do that, you're going to get what you want. I promise you're going to get what you want, because coach after coach after coach after coach that I talked to when I was at corporate, the one main thing is that they never quit. They just never quit. So as long as you don't quit and you continue to make these steps forward, you're going to get your business to where it wants to be. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.